Hey, yo, how you doing, huh? How you doing, Stu? Nah, I gotta talk to you. Alright? I get a call, 5 o'clock this morning. The guy, Jerry Colangelo, is busting my balls. He says, go over there and take care of this. Because these people, I gotta talk to them. I'm gonna send you a message. You send a message to me to talk to them. Why? He busted my balls and you're eating that gabagool. You think you can fire Bryan Colangelo? You think you can fire Bryan Colangelo? You don't fire Jerry Colangelo's son. I'll take his cane and I'll bust your thinking head. Who's that? Who's that? That's Sam Hickey. He got a gun. He got a gun. Go. Take that. Take that. And that. Take that, you greasy gangster. Run. And you tell Jerry Colangelo that Sam Hickey said hi. Hello, everybody. I'm Sam Hickey. And I just saved the day again in Philly. And it was my pleasure. I was able to use the trajectory of radiation by the rotational parts of the earth followed by cornbread instructions, and I was able to disseminate the equivalency of 2.73, and then I took the Twitter feed and I was able to trace it back to cigarettes and pantyhose, and I was able to figure out what is going on with the Sixers. Now, I built the Sixers before and I'll build them again if I'm given the opportunity, but I had to come here today and I had to help the Sixers and Philly stop this Colangelo guy. He's an evil, evil man. So if you could get the Sixers to just sign on a contract, I would love to come back as GM. Oh, you need a pen? Well, don't worry. I got lots of pens here too. So please have them sign Sam Hickey and get me back as GM because I saved the day again. I'm ready to go. Then, when it's all said and done, you're gonna go to the doctor and you're gonna get a physical. You better get your prostate exam. Go get your prostate exam. No more waiting. Get it done. I'm not getting that done. I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. You're 42 years old. Get it done. Look at you. Look at you. Yo, everybody, how you doing? King Dingbat here, and I'm activating the Dingbat emergency broadcast system because there's a Dingbat among us. There's been a Dingbat in Philly for a while, and he just put his resignation in as Sixers GM. I'm talking about Bryan Colangelo. He has finally resigned. He's finally gone. To that, I say, good. I'm glad. And you're probably saying, what took so long? And we'll get to that in a minute because it gets more bizarre as time goes on, more bizarre. But Bryan Colangelo is out as Sixers GM. This had to happen. It had to happen whether he did it or not because he was going to ruin our chances for this summer with the free agents. It's too important of a summer. We can't afford this kind of crap going on to scare off free agents. So this had to happen. And it did, finally, thank God. I'm glad. Now, Colangelo did come out with a statement, Bryan Colangelo is, saying, basically, he had no knowledge of this. He doesn't understand what happened. It was his wife. It's all his wife's fault. She's the one that did it. He loves everybody, and he loves basketball, and he didn't know this was going on. And to me, I'm sorry, but I have a hard time buying it. I have a hard time buying it. How did she know about Markelle Fultz? How did she know what basically was said about Nerlens Noel by Brett Brown? How did she know about Okafor? How did she know about the trade details with the Boston Celtics to get the #1 pick? How did she know all these things? Okay, it's very, very hard for me to imagine that he didn't know his wife was doing it. I don't buy it. So he's out. That's the way it should be, okay? We have big, big summer ahead for Sixers basketball. We want LeBron. I want LeBron bad. Okay? Now, Bryan Colangelo screwed up. This is on him. I'm sorry. So he has to go out, and the Sixers are going to have to bring a new GM in. Now, I think Brett Brown's going to be the interim GM until they find somebody. The search has already started. And basically, there's only one guy in my opinion, the Sixers need to get. There's only one guy. And I love Sam Hinkie. Believe me. You know I love Sam Hinkie. But it's not him. It's David Griffin. You have to go and get him. He's available. He's very good friends with LeBron James. He is a no-brainer GM to hire right away. Right away. This will improve your chances at getting LeBron. Because to me, it's about getting LeBron James. That's how I feel. Now, look, I know they have a young team, a young core. And, people may say, oh, you don't want a guy older to bring in and, stunt these young guys from growing and all that kind of stuff. And usually I would agree with you, but not when it's one of the greatest players ever to play. Not when it's LeBron James. LeBron James is the exception. You bring in the exception, and I want him. So Bryan Colangelo would have hurt our chances. He has to go. And then for what, this whole Twitter thing is unacceptable. I don't care if it was his wife. I don't care if it was him. I don't care who it was. I blame him. I hold him responsible, not his wife. I don't believe his wife was doing it. Okay? I don't believe she was doing it. And basically, he didn't know. I think he knew she was doing it. He had to know. And how did she have all that information? Unless he goes and blabs everything to her. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. I think he had to be fired. Well, he resigned, but I think he had to go. No doubt about it. And that's just the way it is. Now, whether you think Bryan Colangelo should have got fired or not, did it or didn't, the truth of the matter is Bryan Colangelo's role as GM was compromised. He couldn't be an effective leader anymore, whether he did or not, because people would have questioned and people basically lost trust in him. So he had to go. There's no doubt about it. But what makes this issue even crazier than it already is a report out of Philly Voice saying that basically his father, Jerry Colangelo, for those that don't know, Jerry Colangelo was the guy who took over for Sam Hinkie after the league pushed Sam Hinkie out. They wanted Sam Hinkie gone so bad that the commissioner recommended Jerry Colangelo to the Sixers owners. They basically put him in. He basically hired his son as GM. He hired his son as GM. Okay? Then he went to an advisory role and his son took over. Well, he, according to Philly Voice, Jerry Colangelo, the father, was threatening the Sixers that if they fired his son, he would ruin their relationships in the NBA. Agents, players, all sorts of things. So he would ruin the Sixers' ability to conduct themselves, to build their team, because they fired his son. What a piece of garbage! What a piece of garbage. What a dingbat. That guy needs 3 prostate exams. I don't like him. I would get rid of him as an advisory role member, whoever the hell he is. Who the hell are you, buddy? Take your cane, take it, and go somewhere else. Take your wheelchair, go get your prostate exam. Don't come back. Get rid of him. I hate getting threatened. So he threatened the Sixers. This is why it took so long for the Sixers to get rid of Bryan Colangelo. So what a crazy mess. I'm glad he's gone. And look, we got to go get David Griffin. No doubt about it. Don't waste time. Get him, because I want LeBron James. So there's a press conference coming up shortly. I'm going to go listen to it. And I don't know. I mean, this is a mess. I may have to do some skits on this or something, because it's just a mess. And who knows what else will come out. But anyways, Bryan Colangelo, he's out as GM. And look, this is for the best. Now the Sixers have a shot this summer to get some real free agents. Let's see what happens. And hey, it's crazy. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Don't be a dingbat.